The Mirror Man, written by Flippy Colin 3. The original story can be found at www.creepypasta.com and can also be found in the Creepypasta app, which is available in the Google Play Store. The link to the original story is in the description below. Enjoy! Have you ever wondered why shattering a mirror would bring you bad luck for the next 7 years? This story should help explain why. In the year of 1878, a Japanese man by the name of Hiroshi Maya made his living by making and selling glass and mirrors to the good people of his town. He was a generally happy man who loved his job and made a small fortune selling his stock, so his family was very grateful for what he had done for them. The other families in the area, however, were jealous of his success and cringed every time they would see Hiroshi or his family. Among those families was a sorcerer by the name of Zen Yao. Zen explained that if they wanted revenge, someone would have to buy one of his mirrors with tainted yen. Then, whenever Hiroshi would fix a gaze upon a mirror, that mirror would develop a fourth dimension. With hesitation, the family agreed to follow through with Zen's plan. During an unforgiving winter, a young male in his 20s visited a store and bought a small hand mirror with the tainted yen he had obtained from Zen. Hiroshi didn't like the look of the buyer and thought something was not quite right about it, but not being the type of person to turn down a customer, he accepted the yen. Once the buyer left, Hiroshi decided to close the store and prepare for the chilling winter storms. While huddled up with his family, Hiroshi decided to inspect his mirrors just to make sure none of them had been broken during the storm. When he entered the mirror room, he was hit in the back of the head with a pommel of a guard's katana and then was grabbed by a very strong masked man. Zen ordered his henchmen to wake Hiroshi from his unconscious slumber. One of the masked guards started pummeling Hiroshi's abdomen with brute force. Hiroshi gasped in pain and regained consciousness, asking why he was being held hostage in his own home. Before he could finish his sentence, he realized that he had been gagged, and no one understood a word that flowed out of his mouth. He tried his hardest to call his family, but his screams were futile, and the words struggled to escape through the gag Zen had placed in his mouth. Zen proceeded to grab Hiroshi's largest mirror and place it in front of him. Hiroshi gazed at the mirror with a puzzled look. Then he started to feel light-headed, noticing that his arms were waving around in the air uncontrollably. At first, it was a slight annoyance, but it quickly changed when the muscles in Hiroshi's arms started to tear and the bones started to shatter. Cries of extreme agony started releasing from Hiroshi's mouth, and it was obvious that Zen was enjoying every muffled cry that Hiroshi had to offer. Hiroshi saw that his legs and torso started shaking violently, just as his arms were. When they began to shatter, it was terribly hard for Hiroshi to stay conscious, but with the sound of snapping bones and the sound of hail against roof tiles, he managed to stay conscious throughout the entire terrifying ordeal. All of the bones below Hiroshi's neck were now shattered, and all of his muscles were shredded. Yet Zen's magic kept Hiroshi alive so he could feel the pain of the entire ordeal. Zen approached Hiroshi while bearing an evil grin and whispered the phrase, "This is your doing." And then, without hesitation, he shattered the mirror. After the mirror formed a large mess on the floor, Hiroshi started to feel dizzy. Then, uncontrollably, his neck started slowly moving counterclockwise. When his neck had reached the 90-degree mark, the bones in his neck started to snap. With every bone that would snap, Hiroshi would feel an excruciating pain that surged throughout his entire body. After 4 snaps, Hiroshi became limp and silent. He had obviously died, which pleased Zen greatly, knowing that he had caused him as much pain as possible before his untimely ending. But after his death, you could still hear the sickening snap, snap, snap. So ever since then, if you broke a mirror, you would acquire the Mirror Man's curse, a curse that would last 7 years, but would only cause harm to you if you were to break another mirror in the same span. Legend has it that if you were to break a second mirror, Hiroshi would consume your soul and force you to live inside the mirror, where he will make you suffer the same fate he had to suffer for all of your eternal life. If you break a mirror, I suggest that you be careful next time. I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to you.